We are back for one final time with Tier 1, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SLR Tier 1, like I said, and we are here at Barcelona for the grand finale of Tier 1 Season 16. I'm your host, Lars, still partially dying with a cold, but I got some backup with me today. I've got the legend that is Boss Man.
You have the best backup with you today.
You're American, so it's debatable. Anyway. No, I jest. Anyway, only 14 drivers on the grid. I think it's soon to be 15 because Howrell, I saw the notification joining there, so we should have 15 on the grid. With us for the final time around Spain, don't ask us why it's Spain, we have Gurla, Milan, the person, not the city, Justin, who is our world champion, Tug, and I insist he's called that name, Lepson, I have no idea how's this one, Jorsey? Horsey Jorsey. Verch. Howrell does make it into the car in the Aston Martin. Crystals, Makender, Meepo, Christian, who came very close to the title, but nothing to him this year. Tunari, Jammy, who for some godforsaken reasons on the intermediates, and Ocean Chief being the 15th runner. So, nothing, I don't believe there's anything really to play for. Actually, no, I tell a lie. I believe the Constructors is still up for grabs. If you want to have a check on the... let me check the Discord. Bossman, if you want to maybe have a chat through what's going on, and I'll try and find out the stats for the Constructors. I believe we still have a fight for the Constructors.
We've got Garla working through the final sector.
It's actually Milan who's first on the lap, so let me get him on there. He might not even be first on the lap. I'm trying to see who's first on the lap, but just follow Gurla, sure. Or Milan, even.
With Milan on his first fastest lap through Elf, working his way out of seat. I didn't know these corners had names. I don't like those.
Oh, it's a classic track. They all have names.
They do all have names, but nobody uses them, so I don't like them. Into turn number 5. A little late on the brakes, locks it up. Finds the apex, out, down the hill, around the corner. Deep onto the brakes, up through the uphill S section. Takes a hard right-hander onto the back straightaway. DRS flap open. 14:50 to go here in Q1. Jorsk goes fastest with a 1:12.944. Milan up the hill out of turn number 12 for the final time. Milan deep on the brakes through the newly minted final sector. Ocean Chief goes second. Lepson to the top. A 1:12.131. Milan across the line. 1:11.835. Good enough for second as Christian in the McLaren takes the top spot for now.
Absolutely destroys him, and that would be more promising if they were in with a shot of the Constructors, but I am trying to do the math here. I don't believe they are. Let me just try and work this out here. It's 25 points for the win, plus 18 would be, as a braking board gets taken out there. 25 for the win, plus 18 is...
43.
Sorry, 33. Plus
43.
1 for fastest lap is 34.
44.
Wait, how is it 44? Wait, 44? Hold on.
Yeah, 44.
Sorry, yes, 44. You're right. 44 points available. Yep, so at this rate then, it is a battle between Racing Bulls and Aston Martin for the Constructors. Currently Racing Bulls on 238, Aston Martin on 214. McLaren will be third in the Constructors, they're on 180. So not within that 44 points deficit. So it's impossible for them to win out, so it's going to be a battle between... And actually, let's look at those teams. We do have 2 drivers for Aston Martin. We have Howrell, who I believe is reserve, unless he's changed his name, and Makender, who's had a bit of a topsy-turvy season, it must be said, and they're up against Racing Bulls, who only have 1 driver in the session, but it is the world reigning champion of Tier 1, which is Justin, so it could go either way. Even if Justin does well, it could be, the day for the Aston Martins, even if they finish something like 2nd and 3rd. We'll have to do all the maths later on, but Justin's not got it easy today to secure that Constructor's crown. That's for sure.
No, he doesn't. And a track like Spain, only a handful of passing zones. You're definitely going to have to get deep on the brakes into a couple key corners, turn 1, turn 4. Maybe you can sneak up the inside into 7, but only a handful of passing zones here in Catalonia.
Of course, the other thing to remember is because we're at the finale of the season, a lot of these drivers will either A, have nothing to lose, or B, they will be, look, it'll be a matter of pride, and they'll be thinking, look, I might as well go for it, one last hurrah. So, expect to maybe see a little bit more risk-taking, a little bit more aggressive driving, because at this point the drivers will be thinking, well, you know, no point really holding back anymore. So Justin may still have some fierce competition, despite being the dominant world champion and the drivers. Also, hello to Molio in the chat. He's saying hello there. How you doing, bud? So, anyway, looking around on the track, because I was looking at the charts there, I haven't had a chance to change cameras much. Tug is currently on a lap. Gurla, Crystals, and Makender look like they're on laps. In fact, we'll focus on the Astons, although Makender will not focus on because he's invalidated. Howell has got a time on the board. It's only good enough for P9, though, so promising for Justin at present. Of course, as Tug does a little bit of off-roading there, there'll be no love lost between Justin and the two McLarens, particularly Christian, who was snubbed of the world title by Justin, so I doubt they'll be doing him any favours.
I don't know that snubbed of the world title is...
Well, I mean, snubbed would imply I was taking at the end, I suppose, but I mean, Christian was the closest, but he just couldn't beat Justin, so...
Yes, it has been hard to beat Justin this season.
I mean, the fight was happening right up until the penultimate round, so it's not a stretch to say snubbed. You know, I wouldn't say it's a stretch to do that, but anywho. But it's looking promising for Justin so far. He's on another outlap right now. He's currently P4, and he'll just be looking for a clean race. I'm trying to do the maths here. It was a 44 potential gap, and the gap currently is... Hang on. 18 plus 6 is... It's a 24-point gap. So basically, if Justin outscores the Astons by 20 points, regardless of what happens, it secured the title. Now, obviously that sounds a bit silly, but I'm just talking from a purely mathematical standpoint.
Yes. Yes.
And obviously, as I said, there the gap is 24 points to the... Wait, hang on. I'm trying to do my maths here. I've had a cold, so don't blame me. 18 plus it. Yeah, no, it is 24. So, basically, the simplest way this could happen is if Justin DNFs, and one of the Aston Martins wins, that would secure the constructors for Aston Martin. They need 25 points over Justin in order to get the title. Now, obviously, there's multiple ways that could happen, but it needs to be a 25-point swing in the favor of the Astons, which is certainly more doable with two cars on track, but it's not going to be easy by any stretch.
Yes, you can absolutely get a 25-point swing or a 24-point swing. It's a little bit tougher. You have to have some trouble from probably Justin's teammate. You figure Justin's probably going to win the race.
Well, Justin doesn't have a teammate, so that's the thing. Justin is flying solo for RB this week.
You got to hope that he gets spun somewhere, somehow.
I have to say that, well, Howell has made an improvement there. He's currently sitting P6 after that lap, so not a million miles off of Justin. In fact, only 2/10. Sorry, no, tell lie, 4/10 between Howell and Justin. Not bad considering Howell, I believe, is reserve. So his points will still contribute to Aston Martin, but he wouldn't have made any inroads on the drivers. Drivers' points do not count for reserves, I believe, but the constructors' points do. Makender it says he's invalidated this lap, but he's still pushing round, so I don't know if that's true or not. He's yet to set a time. Is he going to dive into the pit lane here? No, he's carrying on. So he'll come across the line. Why did he run? What? Did he just invalidate his next lap as well?
I don't. Yes.
Why did he run so wide on the exit?
You gotta wonder if he's just trying to find the limits of the racetrack, come in, put on a set of soft tires right at the end, and really go for it.
That's always risky as Christian goes to provisional pole. That's always risky to do. There's plenty of times where we've seen it's always safe bet to put a banker in, just to maybe move you slightly for the upgrade, because if you wait till the end, it's very easy to make a mistake or run slightly wide, and then suddenly you're starting at the back with no time on the board. So,
yes.
I'm not too sure I agree with the strat. Whoa!
Ooh. Big slide. Kyle Larson dirt tracking it out of turn number 7.
Shoutouts to Kyle. Let's see, he's recharging now. Well, it said he was recharging, he's in hot lap still. He's burned through most of his ERS, actually. Presumably we'll head back to the pits this time.
You would assume so.
Jamie looks like he's just been here to have fun. I think he just went on the inters to have a laugh, and he's done one lap and gone back to the pits. He's going to try a last to first challenge, which will be interesting. He's going round again, but now he's got no ERS to actually do a lap with. He's done 7 laps on those softs, according to the charts.
He's making a mockery of qualifying.
Bro's going to make a mockery. The wall's going to come out and slap him if he does moves like that.
He's gonna have to hang on to it. Those soft tires have more than expired right now.
Unless this is some sort of testing that he's thinking, well, how long can the softs last? Let's see how they do. Bear in mind, of course, that the track is completely different in the race from in quali. Like, I don't know, is he aware that they have the potential to win the Constructors? Like, has anyone reminded him that it's still possible?
I don't know.
Because right now he is just driving like Jamie, where Jamie is just here to have some fun, but Makender is still in with a shy of the Constructors, especially when it's a 2v1 scenario and your teammate is sitting P6, which is still a good haul of points. And Makender has shown he does have the potential to win races as Milan retires from the session. Not quite sure why, maybe he used all his tires early or something. Very strange in this fan race. He's going round again!
He obviously has a pretty heavy fuel load.
Well, yeah, but if he's going to do a run, he'll have to come in at the end of this lap, assuming he makes it that far.
Yeah, massive tank slapper out of turn number 1.
This is fascinating to watch. We'll let him truck on round. Meanwhile, we've got cars coming out to start their final runs. Meepo did start a run, but looks like it was compromised and then just cutting some grass there. Justin is on for his final run. He's on his out lap. We've got Crystal's picking up some gravel there for the roads, and presumably will take out a braking board. Yes, he does. Rip DHL.
Good job by Crystals.
The only crystals I think this guy owns is a bit of crystal meth. But anyway, Lepson pushing his way around. Always likes to try hard. Not in a mean way, it's just he always tries his best, you know. Verch has had a rather disappointing season this year. It'd be good to see him further up the order for this final run. Same too for Gerla, I'd say. Ocean Chief, I honestly think, is just happy to be here. He knows he's not been the quickest, but he's had a few good performances. No idea who Jorce is, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Jamie is doing a last to first challenge. Makender will not be setting a time. He's gone round again.
I think he's just messing with us at this point.
It's now impossible for him to get back to the... Like, even if he got back to the pits and put fresh rubber on, he wouldn't have time to do a lap round. It's a 1 minute 11, assuming he goes flat out. So he needs to be out of the pit lane. He needs to be out of that pit lane with about 1 minute and 20 to go, I'd say.
I mean, at this point, what are you gonna do?
Oh! Crystals with a 5-place grid penalty. No, what happened there? Oh no! I think Lepson hit the back of Crystals coming into on the entrance to pit road, and the game classifies that as brake checking. I think that was Lepson rather than Because I had an incident like this in AOR where someone rear-ended me, and they were the ones penalised for it because, not from the game, but by the AOR steward saying, look, you drive for your car, you don't drive for the person in front. You know, unless they've deliberately brake checked you, you know, it's not their fault. So, as Justin aborts his lap for the pit lane, he'll... is it possible for him to make it back? I tell you what, might not be too impossible for Makender. If he goes now, he may yet have time. Lots of cars coming in the box.
He will go now. He might.
Howell is on the lap. We'll keep an eye on his teammate. Howell running low on fuel. And actually not burning ERS. I think he has given up on his lap. He'll not have enough fuel to make another lap if his car is flashing. Christian comes to the line. Does he improve on his pole time? Ever so slightly, but it is still an improvement. It's all down to Makender. He's got to go now. He has to go now.
He should go now.
He needs to. Lepson retires. Howell's retired. He needs to go now before his team... Oh, no. Well, no, that's it.
It is imperative that he goes.
He can't go now. Harrell's in the box. He's blocking the garage.
Oh. Well...
That's it. Makender's done. So...
That was an anticlimactic qualifying.
It was, wasn't it? But the upshot of... The whole point of it is now that Makender had a chance to get himself further up the grid. He's now got to go from last to beating Justin and outscoring him with his teammate by 25 points to win the Constructors.
Who doesn't love a good last to first challenge?
Well, Jammy certainly will, from the looks of it. Let me just check the team radios, as I like to call them. Because, yeah, it was rather anticlimactic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see. God, I hate this new phone. I'm actually going to message him.
I assume that Are we restarting the session because of the penalty that Crystals has?
I do not know. I have not received word from that. Oh, the race was postponed because it landed on January 1st. That's why we're here.
Oh, okay. Meepo on a flying lap. Maybe a little bit of drizzle falling as Meepo works his way into turn number 5. Rotates that car nicely. Collects the inside of the apex down the hill. Will jump on the brakes up the hill into 7 and 8. A little bit of a tank slapper.
Ooh,
you can tell the track's starting to get a little bit damp. Meepo looking to improve his position. Currently sitting in P4. He is a second down on his fastest lap. He will not improve, and that should be the end of qualifying. Christian on pole, 1:11.249. Milan second, Justin third, Meepo fourth. Tenari in fifth. Meepo dirt tracking it out of turn 14. That will do it. Christian on pole. The McLarens are putting in some work. We've got... might have a couple people more joined for the race.
Well, we've got...
Clarence.
I mean, people saying in the team radio there that they're, that everyone else was aware of it, that he has a chance to win the title. No response from Makender himself. I assume he's too stoned out of his mind to actually type on the keyboard.
He might very well be.
Someone laughing in the chat. Friendly reminder: Makender has a teammate for this race. Justin doesn't.
Yes, that is the situation. Ocean Chief can't decide whether it's
What do you
a
mean
wet
he doesn't
race
have
or-
one in the
Oh.
race? What?
What's... Never mind.
What?
What did you say?
Apparently people in the chat are in the team radio saying that Makender doesn't have a teammate for the race. My guy, we're literally watching his teammate go round. Howler's in the other Aston Martin. His points
don't count? Is that what we've determined?
Apparently. This is completely different from what I was told, but whatever.
So the Constructors' Championship is over?
Well, not necessarily. Again, if Makender wins and Justin DNFs, it's mathematically possible. But I'm not going to lie, SLR, that's the dumbest rule I've ever heard. But anyway, 5 red lights. And we are underway. Christian gets away well. Looks like a fairly clean getaway from all the drivers. Little bit of sideswiping and argy-bargy. Looks like we have Jamie getting a great start. He's up to P11 straight away. Bit of front wing flying off the edge there as we lag our way through into turn 1. Thank you, Codemasters. Milan goes around the outside. We've got a car off. And of all the people, it's Halroll. Not that it matters, because apparently his points don't count. But anyway. But Halroll getting tagged. Somehow, Ocean Chief is still last. Lord knows how that happened, considering he got away cleanly. Up at the front, Justin immediately pressurizing Christian. And getting ahead, Christian dropping down the order. If I get a calm moment, I'll try and get the tires up there. There we go. All on the mediums. So Christian just lacking the pace compared to those around him. Highest soft run of the minute is Meepo. Currently in P5. Bit of a lock up from Milan. But he's away cleanly. Christian trying to send it around the inside and then drop what switches to the outside. We've got yellows. That is crystals, I believe. It was a slight spin, but he's recovered. Ocean Chief miles back on those hard compound tires as they come across the line for the first time. It is Milan from Justin, from Christian, from Tunari, from Tug, from Meepo, from Jamie, who had a brilliant start going from the P15 P14 up to P7 and trying to challenge for P6 now, trying to go around the outside of Meepo. That won't happen on this occasion, but making great progress is Jamie. Gurla behind him, then Makender, who did make up some places and is in the points, but not enough to do anything at the minute. Lepson rounding out the top 10.
Looking at that first corner incident between Howrell and Meepo, looked like Howrell had the outside, or he had the outside through turn 2. Might have just gotten tagged by the Williams. That spun him into the outside. You know, a very fascinating first lap. People were able to make some moves. We saw Makender pick up 6 positions off the start. Definitely still in the constructors' battle, but this train up front certainly isn't helping it.
We also saw Tug losing out to Meepo. The McLaren struggling in this early stage of the race. Christian down 2 and Tug losing place as well. And now coming under pressure from the resurgent Jamie, who is sending sparks even around the final corner. He must be running a very low downforce. Pulls out of the slipstream, as does Meepo in front. 3 wide.
3 wide for the race lead.
Oh! Milan losing 2 into 1 there. Christian taking advantage and gets the lead. Justin stays exactly where he is. Meepo, we've got ahead of Tunari. Tug losing out to Jamie as well. They're all swapping places at the front here. Makender up to 8th as well. As round the inside, that was Meepo. Meepo trying to squeeze the Red Bull wide and making his way through. Tunari also senses opportunity around the outside. That's a much more difficult move. Bashes wide onto the gravel and loses momentum. He's going to lose out to Jamie here, I think. Nope, Jamie thinks better of it. He's playing the long game.
I wish we had the opportunity for a replay. Christian's move sweeping around the outside into turn number 1. A beautiful move. I believe he went from 3rd to 1st with that move.
Well, let's actually have a look at the winners and losers off the line there. Biggest winner off the lines. It's a big mixture between Jamie and Makender. So Makender making really good ground actually initially. Both up 8 places. Biggest loser off the line, you'll not be surprised to hear, is his teammate Howrell down 7. Crystals and Ocean Chief also losing 3 apiece there. Aside from that, it's really just 1s and 2s. Moving around. Milan has gone down 2 as Makender now sets the fastest lap of the race. He's on the charge. We're going 3 wide into turn 1 again. Christian is beaten before the braking zone, and it's Meepo now challenging for the lead.
Nepo was all the way in the grass trying to make that move down the front straightaway.
Oh, we've got one going wide.
Off the racetrack.
I think that was Justin actually that went off pista there. And indeed he has lost ground. Milan tries to get back past, he'll switch to the outside here, but he gets boxed in by the McLaren, and Christian himself loses out by his early braking. So Justin, nope, he does lose out to third place there. It's hard to tell with these camera angles, as Makender goes side by side with Tunari. Makender up to 6th on those soft compound tyres, so he will be pitting earlier, but he's made good progress through the field, and he's actually only a few positions away. Oh, that was a late defensive move from Milan.
That might receive a penalty for that defensive move.
Oh no, there was contact.
Oh, there goes Milan.
I think that was
Tunari.
I think that was net code. I saw Makender swipe slightly to the left, but not swipe, move slightly to the left, and then the car just, it was almost like a force push. I think that was net code, unfortunately.
That's
Wait, it's not Milan. It can't be Milan because Milan's still in 4th.
It was Tunari.
It was Tunari. Our apologies.
Yes, that's what it looked like to me on the replay.
Oh, hello.
Like, Makender might have gotten a little bit sideways out of that corner. We've got another move. That Aston Martin is on rails right now.
It won't be for long though. The softs don't last for very long, and then you can see he's coming under pressure from Jamie, who also started at the back. We've got yellows in sector 1 as Crystals loses it again, and that's the car losing it. Who's that? That's Meepo.
There goes the race leader.
That was a very unusual place to lose it. It was like halfway between the two corners. I don't know if there was contact. Very unusual place to lose the car if it was under acceleration. But it seems to have gotten going again. Don't know if there was damage. We saw Meepo bumping the wall. Let's have a quick little check. Is there damage to that end plate? Doesn't appear to be. He looks okay. But what a strange place to lose the car.
Looked like he might have just gotten on the rumble strips on the exit of the corner. Lost a little bit of traction, had a little bit of wheel spin, and the tail end of the car just came around on him.
It was very late for the tail end to come around, though. He was already heading towards the crest of the small downhill section into the next corner. Never really seen a car lose it there, but anyway. Justin now responding with the fastest lap, albeit under DRS to help him, and he will get past Christian for the race lead. Makender making good progress as well. He's up to 4th, but it will be back down to 5th, will it not? Nope, Jamie is unable to do anything this time. Makender is on a fiery charge.
He's up 11 spots in 6 laps. Those soft tires probably going to start to go away here in about 2 or 3 laps. He's going to have to make a pit stop. What does he do in terms of strategy? That's going to be the key, as Christian looks to the outside for the lead in turn number 5.
And this is what makes me lament his qualifying performance even more. If we saw this pace from the back and the way he's made it through, if he started further up the order, could he have gotten past the front runners and pulled away? With the pace, it certainly suggests that was a possibility. Of course, there's no point worrying about it now, but you know what might have been. As Christian,
he's got the opportunity for another move into turn number 10. He's closing in on Milan. A little bit late on the brakes, decided better of it though.
Makender actually really needs to dispatch of Milan fairly soon. Milan is dropping back. He's 1.5 away from Christian, so out of DRS range, and these two at the front will keep DRS swapping and pulling away. Makender will get DRS in this occasion, and it would be good for him to get ahead now and use what's left of his soft tires on a clear track. What can Jamie do? Will he try and follow both of them through? He's trying to get 2 into 1. But he'll be lucky to get 1 into 1 because Milan is battling this one out. Bit of wheel bumping, but Jamie hangs it. He holds it round the inside and he's ahead. Makender is through though as well. That's crucial.
Oh, there goes Tug. He thought about a move to the outside of Milan.
And Milan's gone deep.
Now on the outside through turn 4.
Milan has nothing left to spend. He's down. You can see he's running very low on ERS compared to those around him. He spent it all on defense. And there's not much more he can do now. Makender already closing up by 3/10, 4/10 in fact on this lap alone. Makender still has good pace in those soft compound tires.
He definitely does. He's had a lot of pace since really the start of the race. You do kind of have to wonder when those soft tires will go away. You'd assume the next 2 to 3 laps, but with this pace, it might be worth staying out a little bit longer than maybe other people would stay out on the softs.
Oh, we've got Tug going backwards. Tug's in the gravel. Looks like there was contact going down the hill section there. And he's all the way down to P12 as Meepo even gets ahead of him. As Justin got ahead into the braking zone of turn 1. Makender hovering that gap at around 1.4, 1.5. Of course, the DRS is keeping these two further away from him. This is why he didn't want to lose DRS. But he's got to make do with what he's got right now as Makender. And Jammy's trying to follow him through on the same strategy as the front runners.
Looked like Tug and Lepson were near each other. Not sure if there was any contact into turn 13. Didn't get a great camera angle, but definitely disappointing for the McLaren. The fact that Makender has stabilized the gap on 7-lap-old soft tires compared to these guys on mediums that you would assume would be getting better as this run progresses shows how strong this Aston Martin is. If he can get a good strategy, maybe catch a safety car in the right place, he's got an opportunity for a big day. Yeah.
I mean, Codemasters, it wouldn't take much to make a replay system. You already have a system that, you know, analyzes the race and gives us, you know, highlights reels. Just make it do that in increments, and then, you know, if a big event happens, we maybe have a little prompt that says press this button for a replay. And then, you know, we can commentate over what the replay shows. It wouldn't take much effort, Codemasters, and it'd be real helpful for commentators like ourselves, because we don't have a direction crew. You know, we're just watching the mini-map to see when cars are close, and that doesn't really tell us if there's a potential accident or move happening. So
we could bring in a direction crew.
We could, but I'm not the organizer, and I don't know if that's going to cost or anything. So there you go. Speaking of the organizers, let's have a look at On Lepson. Currently P7, chasing down Gurla in his Mercedes. Doesn't seem to have damage, so I don't think there was any major contact. Maybe there was just the lightest of touches between him and Tug. What else is happening in the race? I don't know what Crystals is doing, but he's on the hard compound tires, and he's 45 seconds adrift of the rest of the field. He's here for a glorified test session at this point. Unless a safety car happens, in which case he'll be back in this race.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's going to need a safety car to catch back up to the field.
Tunari was ghosted there and is missing the front right end plate, but didn't spin. So not too sure what happened there. Tug gets 3 seconds. He's our first track limit warnings penalty of the day. As Tunari makes his way to the pits. Gets it stopped in time. Is obviously still planning to keep going in the race. We've got position changing all the time. That was Jors, who was moving up and down the order. I think that was just in relation to the pit lane. Further up front though, Jammy, sorry we missed that with all that was going on. Jammy did get ahead of Makender, but that's to be expected with Makender on 9-lap-old softs. He'll just be trying to stay with this, and actually is doing a good job of staying with Jammy, and Jammy pulling him towards these front two. Jammy very nearly within DRS range, and Makender staying within DRS as well of the Alpine.
Yeah, Makender's starting to drop back a little bit on those soft tires. He's lost about 0.3 of a second in the last 2 laps. You got to start thinking about possibly boxing, unless this is some sort of strategy to have Jammy try and make a little bit of headway on the leaders, while you just kind of ride his tail and pick up some time.
I mean, he was running those soft compound tires in qualifying, almost like he was doing a practice run with them. So maybe seeing just how much life he can take out of them, maybe seeing how long they will actually last. He got 9 laps in on them before he started losing, and he's actually making the move on Jammy here, using that DRS. But as you can see, the front two pulled out by 0.2 there because of their DRS. As Crystals has gone wide and is letting the leaders through. So Crystals is our first car to be lapped, possibly the only one. He's had an absolute mare of an evening here tonight. As Jors retires, could this be the safety car we were looking for? Nope, Jors retired in the pit lane. I'm surprised at that. There was a long way to go in the race, but Jors feels it's not worth carrying on. So there's our first DNF. It's the Alpine of Jors. Bit disappointing, I have to say.
Yeah, good run. He was hunting near the points paying positions before retiring. He will we'll have to see how he does when he comes back next time.
To be fair, if I was at the Spanish Grand Prix, I'd probably retire as soon as possible as well.
Yeah, not a.
I'm sorry. I know we talk shit about Spain a lot, but there's a reason for it. Let's be real. As Makender boxes,
British.
Just about gets it stopped. And what will he be changing to? That's the question. Presumably it'll be the mediums. Crystal's with 10 seconds for speeding in pit lane, but he retires. It is the mediums.
It is the mediums. I thought about maybe the hards.
Well, let's see. 12 laps. I mean, to be fair, that is quite a long way for the mediums to go.
Yeah.
He's got, what's that, 21 laps to do on the mediums?
Yes, that's why I was thinking about maybe he's looking to the hards, but maybe he knows something we don't.
I mean, that was a good distance to go on the softs, to be fair. He nearly took them to half race distance. And considering this is a very high tire wear track, that's nothing to sniff at. So maybe he can make this strategy work. Or maybe he's banking on a safety car and will go to another set of mediums.
That is possible.
Meanwhile, up front, Justin leading the field, although Christian has not left him alone this entire time. Jamie, despite his major progress, is not able to close that gap on the two leaders. Indeed, Milan is coming back at him in the battle for the final podium position. Gurla sitting pretty on those hards, just trucking on round in P5. Although Lepson will have something to say about it, as Jamie also pits. How did he not get a speeding penalty there? Good lord.
I have no idea.
But that's interesting that
Jamie's
Jamie's getting rid of those mediums when they only lasted the same amount of time as Makender had on his softs. So Makender just seems to be kinder on the tires at present. Or is this just to cover off Makender? Where is Makender?
Makender will get by Jamie.
The undercut is the way to go, it seems. Makender does get ahead of Jamie.
Maybe this is a play by these two guys to try and catch and pass the leaders.
Well, Jamie's just going for an overall tougher tire here. He started on... So we've got one going soft to mediums, presumably on the one-stopper, and then Jamie's gone mediums to hards. So, interesting tire calls. I mean, Jamie showed he does have the pace in his car, but he doesn't obviously have the car to manage the tires in the same way Makender does. Assuming, again, that Makender's doing a one-stop. Makender might be doing a two-stop, for all we know, although I think that would be very surprising, considering how long he took those soft compound tires. The gap's spreading out. It's starting to calm down a little bit. Only one pair of drivers within DRS. It's our two front runners, Christian and Justin. Christian leading at present, and Justin will sit behind for this occasion.
3, 4, and 5 all into the pits.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see where they come out in relation to Makender and Jamie.
Well, there goes Makender. Makender's already through. Jamie's actually dropped back, and Jamie will be beaten potentially out of the pit lane here by Milan, and Milan makes his overcut work. Jamie did not have the pace initially on his outlap, and he has lost out on a position to Milan.
Maybe also a poor pit stop by Jamie. That could be the result of
possibly that. Yes. Now, of course, Jamie will have warmer tires at this stage, albeit not by much. It takes a few laps for the hards to get up to temperature. So Makender is free and clear on fast rubber.
These guys are both 2.6 seconds behind Makender. So the medium tires certainly doing a little bit of work for the Aston Martin right now.
Oh, as you can see, Milan trying to warm his tires up, doing a bit of weaving on the stretch there. He's okay to do that, of course, because it's not a defensive move, and there was no sign of Jamie going for a move, so if he'd done it in the braking zone, that would have been more questionable. Speaking of the Aston Martin... oh dear, excuse me. Speaking of the Aston Martins, there's Justin Pitts as well. The other Aston Martin of Howrell has also pitted. He's on the hard compound tires, bringing home 2 points for the team. Well, not really, because of course they don't apply for whatever reason. Apparently. Again, I think you agree with me. That seems a bit stupid.
Listen, I'm just here for fun, buddy. But
no, I know. It's the first league I've seen where the reserves don't count towards the championship. As Gurla retires, that was on track. That's a safety car. And that was on the same spot where we saw Meepo losing it as well.
Yes. Maybe it's something with that spot on the track.
Now, this is excellent news for Christian and for Verch, who hasn't pitted yet. It's a bit of a disaster for Justin, who had literally, the lap before, pitted. But he'll not have the opportunity to take to use the extra freshness of his tires. He'll have Jamie, Milan, Lepson, he'll have them all under his rear wing. And Makender, this is perfect for him because he's on the weaker rubber, but this should help him carry it towards the end on a faster compound tyre. Suddenly, Makender is now outscoring Justin. It's not by 25 points, but let's not say it's over just yet, you know? And Verge boxing, Christian boxing.
Yes.
Will Christian come out in the lead here? He's already made his stop. Yes, he will. Christian.
Makender the pits.
Makender. Oh, okay. Maybe going for a fresh set of mediums then? Possibly. I mean, everyone else is pitting. If he has the fresh set, he's going to hards. Okay.
I'm at a loss for words. I thought he could have made it, and I thought if he put on another set of mediums, he definitely could have made it.
All right, pack it up, folks. It's over. No, I'm kidding. It's not over yet, but that means, that's perfect for Christian. He's on now slightly fresher rubber than his rival, and he was able to pit and come back out in the lead. That couldn't have been better timing for Christian.
Yeah,
we've got Jamie up there, of course, on decently fresh hards.
Without the safety car, Makender would have had the lead.
He would have done.
About a second.
He would have done.
Yeah, he's obviously not, and I'm not sure why he put on a set of hards this late in the race. But
I'll tell you what, it's not super late. We're just about hitting half race distance. But I'll tell you what, someone to watch is Verge, who is currently P6, benefited from being under that safety car, and is on brand new medium compound tires. He's the leading medium runner. He should be able to take them to the end, and they'll have more pace in them than the hards early on. So what can Verge do in these early stages? We've got someone messaging me there. Nope, that's just, why is Lepson Discord this week? Lepson saying he's apparently just gone live on Twitch. Not quite sure why, considering he's halfway through the race, but whatever.
If you want to check out his stream from P9, P8,
Ocean.
Not sure why you would want to check out his stream from P8, but you know.
Hey, it's a nice battle in the midfield, you know. Ocean Chief also pitting. He held out for a lap longer, probably realizing that with the pit stop he was going to be last anyway. So this will give him the freshest possible tires. He should catch up to the pack before it comes in. So that's actually a smart play by Ocean Chief, to be quite honest. He knew he was going to come out in last with a pit stop. Might as well keep the rubber as fresh as possible.
Exactly.
As they make their way around the
This
long...
does set up a good battle for the win, though, between Christian and Justin.
I mean, it could be a battle between a lot more than that, because Jamie is now... The main thing that was keeping Jamie back is he had lost DRS, and the other two were slipstreaming off each other. Jamie is now in DRS range on practically comparable hard compound tires, because he's had them on for 4 laps, but 2 of those have been... In fact, nearly enough 3 of those have been under safety car. So they're comparable in terms of their wear at this point. Jamie's in with a chance of this. Milan's... I mean, at this point, it's still anyone's game.
Yes.
Race control safety car is in this lap. Ocean Chief did catch up. And he's on the back of the pack with the freshest rubber we've ever seen. Be interesting to see what he can do as we look to Christian for when he does his restart. He's done enough of these throughout the season. Maybe not quite as many as Justin, but Christian's had his fair share of lead in the pack. And of course, it's much more difficult to get the safety car restart right now because the old chicane would have normally broken up any chance of getting the DRS. Or not the DRS, the slipstream. But now, everyone follows line astern as we have a ghosted car. That's Milan Ghost as he unpauses. And Christian bolts. He did not get the getaway he wanted. Justin was quick to respond to it. They're underway. And the slipstream, is it enough for Justin to take the lead into turn 1? Justin decides against it. We've got some moves potentially further back, people thinking about it, but no moves on the run to turn 1 on this occasion. So Christian leads them away from Justin, Jamie, Milan, Harold, Verch, Makender, who is trying to get past Verch immediately and goes to the inside. Does he make it through? I don't think he does, because that's going to be the outside for the next corner. He'll be brave to hang it round out there. He's still trying, though.
A little bit of contact.
And indeed, Verge actually sees the
through.
position, maybe feeling that was a bit unfair. So Makender up to P6, that's good from him. So Verge now P7, Lepson in P8, Tug 9th, and Meepo bringing up the rear of the points in 10th. Tunari and Ocean Chief, the only other two runners not in the points. It's always interesting how Justin takes such a wide line through that corner. I thought it was him locking up earlier, but he's consistently going wide through that hairpin. And it seems to work for him. Interesting to see how drivers customize their lines as they develop more confidence around the track.
A little bit wider on entry helps you close down the radius of the corner as you get to the apex. And then you can really open up the wheel on the exit. Gets you through the corner possibly a little bit faster.
Potentially, but then you are also taking a much wider line, which potentially leaves your door open to overtakes. And it does help you with things like brake management and stuff, though, and keeping the tire temps under control a lot more, because you're not putting as much load onto the tires. But considering he's on the hard compound, I don't think that's necessary. I think it's just a personal choice of how he likes to take that. It's not like it has much impact on the corner up ahead, because it's a very slow right-hander. But, you know, he does him. So, everyone's being a bit chill. They're all within DRS range of each other, but everyone's just keeping it chill for now. No position changes to report. Whereas the two Aston Martins are now together. And what Harold should be doing is really moving over, assuming he's aware of the rules, because of course his points do not count towards the constructors. So he really wants to help his teammate in any way possible. And he is actually dropping back from Milan, so Makender will want to get through as soon as possible here.
You'd assume he'd let him by right here.
Of course. Harold has DRS as well as Justin goes through. Jamie now having to defend as well. Milan sends it up the inside. There's a bit of contact, and Jamie takes to the sausage curbs. Or the sleeping policeman, I should say. Harold did not let Makender through on that occasion.
The sleeping policeman?
That's what we call it, the sleeping policeman.
Who's we? I have literally
it's what the Brits call it. It's a nickname for it because it'll stop you. Oh no, we've got a car round. That's Lepson. As Harold is battling with his teammate, Harold's not letting him through. And Harold holds the position. Makender will be less than impressed with that. We saw Lepson going round.
That looked like the same thing that happened to Gurla and somebody else in the field. Just got a little bit on the grass, lost the back end, and it just flipped. Yeah,
that was Meepo we're thinking of. Speaking of Meepo, he's battling away with Verch, and Tunari is trying to join this battle. This is for 7th, 8th, and 9th. And Verch to the inside around the final corner. Supreme bravery from Meepo, trusting that the car would not go deep into the gravel. And holding on to that 7th place as Tunari gets ahead of Verch. But back to my point, the reason we call it its nickname the Sleeping Policeman is because it's meant to stop the car like a policeman does, but it's lying down, so it's a sleeping policeman.
I have never heard anybody call it that.
The Brits call it that all the time. Crofty would even call it that. Brundle would call it that. It's a sleeping policeman.
Never heard Crofty say that.
Well, go watch F1 a bit more then. Anyway, I know they don't have them in NASCAR, but that's because you. No, I'm not going to make any fun of NASCAR anymore. NASCAR does that for itself.
Go ahead, make fun of NASCAR.
Sorry?
Go ahead, make fun of NASCAR.
Well, no, do you know what? I'll not make fun of NASCAR. I'll make fun of the officials in NASCAR, though, because holy crap, if I thought the FIA was bad. NASCAR officials are downright and criminally insane. But anyway.
What NASCAR race did you watch where the officiating was bad?
Many of them.
In NASCAR, we just let them race. Like, you know, them boys go out there, they beat each other up. Yeah,
and then it'll be raining on like half the course. You'll not throw a caution, but you'll throw it for like the slightest drop of oil on the track.
Yeah.
Even if it's online and not outside.
That's NASCAR.
And then there's the whole thing. And then there's the whole thing with the blooming green and white checkers, where you run the drivers out of fuel if they can't manage without doing a yellow for more than one lap.
Well, you know. You should have planned that into your strategy, bud.
You can't plan anything in a strategy for NASCAR because it's just bumper cars with V8s.
Yeah, and good racing.
Debatable, but anyway, speaking of good racing, the two Astons are doing good racing. Somehow they haven't killed each other yet, although Makender is desperate to get through and still can't find a way past his teammate. Howrell not playing the team game at present.
Makender would desperately like to get through to try and win the Constructors' Championship.
I mean, it's looking less and less likely as it goes on again, unless, even if Justin were to DNF, Makender would need to win the race in order to deny the Constructors.
Well, I mean, we're just talking about, you know, he's got to pass a couple people and then play NASCAR with Justin, send him into the wall, and try and win the race.
No, you can't do that in F1. You'll get penalised for that.
You know what? If
we're gentlemen. We are gentlemen.
If the FIA didn't see it, then there can't be no.
As Makender finally does get through on the DRS, and is now up to P5. 10 to go. 11 including this one. As Howrell now coming under pressure a lot more. Meepo trying to fight his way around. We got a little splash of carbon fibre there, as there was some slight contact at Meepo. Round the outside, that'll be brave, although Meepo's been one for doing brave moves. Nearly goes onto the gravel. He'll still be on the outside. He'll not make it up through there.
Wheels. Yeah, might have touched wheels into turn 7. Super close racing between these two. Howrell is definitely holding up a train right now.
See, with all this wheel barging, hear me out. Bodicea wheel spikes.
I would not want to see wheel spikes, no.
I mean, what about, okay, what if we put them in NASCAR then?
That would be fun.
That's... I appreciate how you want to take care of our drivers, but for all the other American ones that are driving over, it's like, nah, they can kill each other.
No, but, you know...
Oh my goodness! I'm sorry, that was a disgusting move from Howrell. Really late sweep.
Yeah.
That was never on for a defensive move. That was 2016 Max Verstappen late moves down the Kemmel straight sort of move there. That was disgraceful.
That might have been worse than that. The Williams was way out there, and Howrell just came over and just put him in the wall. And
Meepo's now without the front wing. I'm sorry. If Howrell was trying to make an impression, he was doing good up till that point, but that's just thrown it all away. That was disgraceful defensive driving. And it's not like it's even saved him any positions, because Tug and Tunari made it through as well. Howrell down to P8, and down in the estimations of everyone watching, I would say. That was not on.
I don't know that Howrell is going to be invited back to Tier 1. That was a bad move.
That was unfortunate, and so unfortunate that of all the drivers involved, I mean, Meepo, he's not had a faultless race. He did make that mistake early on where he spun out and bumped the wall, but he was making good moves, good progress. He was doing brave moves around the outside, and then on a main straight to have that happen to you, you know, you got to feel for the Williams driver.
If ghosting weren't on, I wouldn't blame Meepo if he slowed down a little bit just to.
I think ghosting automatically kicks in if you're lapped anyway. They sort of did that to prevent that, so it only applies to those that you're battling side by side with. So, but I wouldn't condone it. I mean, if I can quote the Watchmen from here, without condemning or condoning, I understand. That was another very late move. That was Milan this time. Did you see that sweep across on Jamie?
I did. He went outside, inside. Jamie had to jam on the brakes.
And it's cost him the position to Makender. Guys, I know it's the last race of the season, but please behave. That's been some disgusting defending we've seen so far. As Meepo retires, understandably. A brilliant race brought to an unfortunate end. Guys, you all need to calm down here. This is not on. This is not what we want SLR to be. Still.
The defending standards in this race have been subpar, to say the least.
Only recently. Do you know, early on it was actually quite good. We saw some good battling, and then we've just had a couple in these last few laps. The upshot, though, is Makender is now up to P4. Justin down to P2. It may not be enough to win the title. That looks like a bit of lag there. And Justin's now down third. I saw a lag spike, I think. I'm not too sure. But now, the two constructors battling duo are third and fourth on the track.
Take him out. Take him out.
I was going to say, so what was this you were saying about a NASCAR moment?
listen, I just, if he gets into the back of him with his rear wing, maybe half spins him a little bit. If he happened to be late on the brakes into a...
Oh, there's Milan doing another cut across. We just called that on board. Milan really needs to settle down here because he'll do more damage to himself than anyone else. He's compromising his lines, he's losing the gap to Christian, and he'll just earn the wrath of the stewards and the other drivers. We like aggressive defending, but we want it to be sensible.
Not a ton of sensibility going on right now. Makender all in the tire tracks of Justin as they head out of turn number 13.
I'll tell you what though, at least it's making the race exciting, which is a rarity to happen around Spain. Milan surely will not be able to defend this time. We will watch him closely, and indeed he doesn't do any late swipes down the main straight. He knows better than that, it seems. He's been boxed in. He maybe saw an opportunity to get past the McLaren there. Instead he'll drop down to third into the clutches of Makender.
Oh, another late move by Milan almost sent him into Justin. Justin had to go a little bit wide to avoid it.
Yeah, Milan is he's racing a bit more like he's in Need for Speed or Gran Turismo or something. Moves like that will not work in F1.
No, they won't. Cars are too fragile.
Well, A, they're too fragile, and B, it's just not the way you drive around a racetrack. This isn't street racing where you make your own lines. There's a racing line, there's a faster way around the track, and if you pull off line like that, you're just going to screw yourself over and the driver behind. So, a little bit of racecraft to learn from some of these drivers. They've got pace, but you need to have more than just pace to be a winner in F1.
He's out here watching too much NASCAR.
Indeed. Go high, go low, put him in the wall.
You don't say put him in the wall.
I've heard crew chief say it. As Makender trying to make the move on Milan. Milan tries to run him wide. That was borderline. And Milan gets shown the door as well. And you know what? I'd have to say that's karmic retribution. That's like, you did this to me. I'm going to do the same to you. See how you like it, you Italian-named little city.
Milan almost put whichever Alpine that is.
That's Jamie.
He almost put him in the grass in turn 3.
Well, Makender did the exact same to Milan there. No quarter asked nor given. And I think if he looked at the replays, Milan would have to say, yeah, that was fair enough considering the way I behaved earlier on. So Makender now up to third. A brilliant drive to come from the back of the field. It won't be enough for the constructors at the minute, but it's been a great drive from him so far nonetheless.
At this point, he's got to be driver of the day, right?
I'd argue at the minute, yes. It's been an unusual strategy. He's made it work. Would there have been more on the table if he'd qualified better? Possibly.
Probably.
But probably indeed, but would it have been enough for the constructors? I doubt it. I don't see Justin DNFing. Although, to be fair, if he falls into the clutches of Milan, anything's possible. But right now, he's doing everything to avoid that as Justin retakes the lead. And Milan early on the brakes. Here's what we want to see. I mean, I'll say this much. He may not have the greatest of racecraft, but he's making this race bloody exciting, is Milan. As Jamie is the next target victim to try and find his way past. Although Jamie tends to be a bit more cautious, so whether he'll be able to find a way through. Makender thinking about a look on Christian, doesn't do it on this occasion.
Makender got a little bit of wheel spin out of 5, forced him to the inside. He tried to cut that corner short to get it around Christian, couldn't make it happen. Be interesting to see if Christian gets out of the way to let these two battle for the Constructors' Championship.
Well, it wouldn't be a battle for the Constructors. It would only be if they're like 1 point away from each other. Remember, it needs to be an outscoring of 25 or more for Makender to win the title. At present, he's not outscoring Justin at all, so...
Well, again, you get on the brakes a little bit, maybe a little bit of contact, I don't know, I didn't see
I mean, we could always team radio Lepson. Is that Glock?
We could.
I like how you're giggling. Like, I love how even if you don't watch F1 as much, you know about the whole "is that Glock"
I
thing.
mean, listen, I've been watching F1 for like 8 years.
No, I know. But like, I just love how everyone knows "is that Glock."
Yeah, I know who Timo Glock is. He used to run IndyCar.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's actually true. I'm not
big
making
drift
that.
from Christian there. The hards are starting to fall off a bit. They didn't last
Yes,
quite as
they
long
are.
as everyone thought. We could be in for some drama at the end here. Christian's struggling. All it would take is a slight little touch, slight bit of contact. If Justin maybe makes a move and Christian maybe locks a wheel, Makender sitting in the prime position to take advantage if these two take each other out. It's not over till the checker flag drops. Still got Milan there. Jamie unable to find a way past Tunari, also in this leading pack. Try and find a way through. He's on the mediums, of course, as well. Although they'll be dead by now. Same running time as the hard compounds in front. So what happens on this occasion as they come down the main straight? All in the DRS train lane. Justin trying to make the move. And will do so. No one else able to do so. Makender closed up, but he wasn't close enough. And Justin really thinking this, surely he's got to be thinking at this point, right, I want to get away from this. I don't want to be battling anymore. Makender right under that rear wing of Christian. Not able to make anything happen on this occasion. Christian definitely seems to be better in this middle sector, maybe running a higher downforce setup. You can see he's having an easier time staying with Justin in this section than he did on the main straight. Three to go, wait, hang on, 33, 32. Yeah, 3 to go, including this one. So by 2.5 to go. And it's anyone's game. Any of these 6 could still win it. All it would take is a little move like that as Makender tries to go down the inside. That's a very rare place to see a move done there. He's not able to do it on this occasion, but Makender is still very feisty at this point of the race.
He's got to start making desperate times call for desperate measures, and he's certainly trying to make some desperate moves to try and get the win.
He might as well. There's no way McLaren can overhaul them for a second in constructors as Christian goes for it. So does Milan.
Oh,
that's a dive.
Milan almost took out Justin.
Oh, and they've made contact and Milan's been shown the gravel.
Racetrack.
I mean, it was an aggressive move from Milan initially. He did push Makender offline, and he's retired on track, which is also illegal.
I think he's beached it in the front.
No, because that's just the AI trying to get out of there and parking up. Jamie now on the podium places. Makender will be absolutely furious with that sort of move. We've spoken about Milan before. You can't be doing that. Maybe if it's the last lap, fair enough. But he made contact and forced Makender, basically off the track. In fact, I think he was off the track. So he can't. And I bet you he'll be probably the one to complain, oh, well, I got shown the gravel. You got shown the gravel because you showed Makender the door about 3 times.
I don't know that I can really blame Makender here. Milan puts him off the racetrack. Makender has to try and cross right where the rumble strips are. Might have possibly hit the sausage curb, got the car way loose, and just a little bit of contact with Milan. It doesn't look like to me that Makender intentionally tried to run him off the racetrack.
No, I don't think it was either. Makender's not the sort to do that, although I wouldn't blame him if he did, because, I mean, he'd been holding that in for a long time. You could tell that,
Yeah.
He was trying desperately. Well, let me put it this way. If this was NASCAR, that would be the sort of behavior where another driver would put you in the wall or give you a little tap on the rear to send you spinning.
Yes.
The fact that Makender held his ground for as long as he did, and then just a sudden lunge. It like I said, it's the old school Max Verstappen style of, what Max used to do, where it was, I'm going to lunge it up the inside, and it's up to you to either back out or we have an accident. Well, guess what? Makender decided, we're going to have an accident, but I'm going to make sure you come off worse, mate.
In NASCAR, we call that the
oh no, Makender went deep.
Oh no.
He tried to go around the outside of Jamie. It was a desperate move. He might as well have gone for it. Nothing else for it. He might as well have tried the lunge. It was a valiant effort from Makender, but it was stacked against him. And where's he going now? He's doing donuts to end the season. Might as well.
In NASCAR, we call that the right rear hook.
Ah.
You're racing somebody on the oval. You get on their right rear and you hook them up into the wall.
Meanwhile, while we're watching these donuts after a valiant effort from Makender, Justin did win the race in the end, just to solidify his championship and constructors championship. Christian finished second, as he has done for a lot of the season. Jamie did do a brilliant fight back to third, although I think I'd still give driver of the day to Makender. It's a tough choice between Jamie and Makender, to be honest.
I think it's.
I'd lean towards Makender, I think. Tunari got fourth after all. Howrell, in his reserve role, did a very good job to finish fifth, despite some setbacks. Tug in sixth, Verch in seventh, Ocean Chief eighth, Lepson getting back to ninth. Actually, no, 10th. No, they're all doing donuts. Boys, there's still the battle for ninth here. Who's going to take ninth? Who's going to stop spinning first? I thought Lepson was going to there. Race for the line, boys. Race for the line. Lepson's going for it. No, he's not. He's spun again. Is he going to throw it in reverse? Yes. Crawley. He retired. He retired on the line. So, it'll be... Unless... Where is Makender? What is Bro doing? Makender's going to get disqualified. And he gets disqualified. So it's going to be Lepson 9th. Milan will finish P10 because I think he finished within the final few parts. That will be your final points finish. Not that anyone cares because it's the end of the season. That was surprisingly exciting for a Spanish Grand Prix. Do we get to see the AI getting blown up? I think we do. Yep, there we go. I saw the hit there. Lepson's AI killing another driver. I think it was Verch.
Fitting.
Very fitting. Good. Thank you, F124. I think we still have one more season on this game, but anyway. But there you go. The winner of the race and the championship and taking the constructors for his team. It is Justin and our Racing Bulls. Well done. So, your final positions, barring any potential penalties. Justin winning from Christian, Jamie Tunari, Howrell, Tug, Verch, Ocean Chief, Lepson and Milan. Behind them, the non-classified finishers, Meepo, Gerla, Yors, Crystals and Makender putting in his own disqualification. Though, do you know what? I mean, this will be a record. I think this will be the first time I put a disqualified driver as driver of the day.
Yes. Definitely the first and only time disqualified driver will be driver of the day.
Yep. I mean, I think he deserves it. It was a great fight back after all. I mean, Jamie did a good fight back as well, but Jamie just sort of sat there keeping his nose clean. Makender had to do unique strategy calls. He had to battle away with Milan. And it was just unfortunate. I don't think he was ever going to really be a proper threat for the constructors. But it is what it is. And do you know what? Because of the way it's the end of the season, rather than calling drivers into the interview pen, let's head down to the paddock. We'll go into there with them, and we'll chat to them all at once. Come on, out of the comm box. I'll lock it up for the season. I'll put the key under the mat, and we can come back next season.
Okay.
Let's pop down to the interview box. Bring the coffee machine.
Goodbye.
Hello, lads.
Hello.
We decided to come down and see you all since it's the end of the season, rather than calling you up one by one. You survived season 16.
Somehow.
So obviously we've got a nice little mixture here. We have our podium, all three on the podium. We have Mr. Ouster. Who's Mr. Ouster?
I'm just a spectator in the crowd. Ignore me.
Track invasion, security.
Security, get him out of the interview pen.
You're the guy running around in the back. He's the one running around in the background with it'll be the French flag in this case because of Justin. But yeah, I suppose we'll just go through our podium since they're here. Justin, you first. Congratulations on the win. Basically securing your constructor's crown. Makender had to outscore you by 25. I mean, that would mean you'd have to have DNF'd. I suppose you weren't really under much pressure coming into this race, were you?
I mean, you never know. I didn't put headspace into much of this race, if I may be brutally honest. But it was good fun, and I knew that as long as both Astons weren't in the top 5, they had no chance. So.
Well, actually, as it turns out, as we've been told, it didn't matter if the second Aston was in the top 5 because apparently reserves do not count towards the constructors.
Oh, it was a reserve. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Howrell was a reserve. So anyway, so all you had to worry about was Makender. So, and to his credit, he made a great fight back. I wish he was in the comm box. Would love to have spoken with him about a few things, but that's his decision. I can understand why he wouldn't want to. Christian.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you.
That is you,
I mean,
yeah.
let's be honest. This race was really the story of the season for you, wasn't it? Doing really well up at the front, and then an arrogant Frenchman comes along and shoves you out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see yourself being able to take the fight to Justin more so next year? You've been there or thereabouts with him, but you know, at the end of the day, it's just not been possible really to beat him. So, will you be coming back stronger, or do you think this is your limit and Justin's got you beat?
Well, next season I'll definitely run him off track more. I can feel like it. Yeah, I was really hoping to win this race, but Justin, you little thingy.
Hey, calm down.
This is great. This is great. We're getting the 2015 leading to 2016 Rosberg arc right here, where he decides not to take any more nonsense and just goes full on aggressive. I'm loving it. We're getting the Rosberg arc right now. This is awesome.
I mean, it was fun anyways. It was a good race.
No, do you know what? It's the first time I would say that I've seen Spain being an exciting Grand Prix. So props to you all for that. Well done. And speaking of props, Jammy, what a comeback! Back at the field to third on the podium after some, well, let's call them close calls with a certain Red Bull driver. What was your view on, like, well, the whole race, but also particularly Milan, because we noticed a few incidents, not just with yourself in Milan, but also Maytender in Milan. What were your thoughts on the whole thing?
I noticed some with Tenari in Milan. He's a bit mental. But
Sorry, can you turn yourself up? You're quite quiet. I've got you on
is
max
that better?
volume.
Is that better?
That's better, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. He's a bit mental, but you know, it is what it is. Some people are like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we said in the com box that it was like 2016 Max Verstappen. Just, I'm going to make a lunge on you, and it's up to you whether we crash or not. But credit to both of you. Neither of you backed down, and you both showed him the door. With I
said it was like NASCAR.
It was a wee bit, yeah. Well, I mean, Makender showed him the gravel, to be quite honest. And do you know what? I don't blame him one iota, to be quite honest.
It is the reason I let Makender go through, because I had a feeling with how he'd been driving, Makender might end up doing that to him, to be fair, because I went for that same move that he did, that those two did, and he pushed me onto the inside. And I was like, at that point, I'm just not going to battle this guy. I'll wait till he crashes, and, well, lo and behold, he did.
Indeed. Just looking in the chat there, lots of people saying GG's. Meepo saying, I guess I got what I deserve for being taken out like that. Fair enough. More GG's. Justin getting the congrats there. Jammy, you were hoping for more of a battle with Makender as well. It was close between you two. Both of you made a great comeback, it has to be said. I feel like we were robbed of that battle because both of you deserved the podium, to be quite honest. It would have been great to see a fight for it.
Yeah, I wanted to see it because the only thing in the championship for me was P2 between me and Makender, so I was hoping for the big battle at the end. I was glad when he was at the back with me to see who could get furthest in the field. So.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Was that predetermined by the way, you wanted to do a last to first? Because we saw you on the intermediates.
Yeah, I knew I was doing it yesterday. Just wanted to have some fun.
Fair enough. Bossman, anything to add?
No, I was gonna ask about the Makender incident, but because obviously Jamie had a front row seat to the contact in turn 1 between Makender and what's his face?
Milan.
Yeah, that's his face. Any words on that incident?
Oh, from me?
Yes, because you had a front row seat to it.
Yeah, I was holding half a second back when it was coming, and then they just, I mean, he did the same thing he did to me, but Makender just kind of didn't back out of it like I did. He held his ground, which is fair enough. The guy got what he deserved, to be fair.
Real quick, Spain did leave us with one last gift, or left Tug with one last gift. If you gentlemen, I can't really show it here. I don't think I can swap the screens right now, but if you have a look in the Tier 1 general chat, you'll see that Lepson posted a clip of Tug going flying. I thought they got rid of that bump for this year's game.
I know it was in the game at the beginning. I didn't know it was still there.
Bonk. Whee!
Oh no! I thought they got rid of that earlier in the year.
Poor old Tug.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that, gentlemen, we have reached the end of Series 16 of SLR. So, yeah, woo, we survived.
Ooh.
And all we got was this lousy t-shirt. In fact, never mind, you're not getting t-shirts. That takes time and money, both of which we have very little of right now. So,
I get a T-shirt.
what did I just say, boss man?
I heard I get a T-shirt.
You're lucky we still have the coffee machine in the film booth or in the comm booth.
Yeah, we might have to sell that.
No, we will not. I've been carrying that since COR back in 2018. I've been taking that everywhere I
don't
go.
know what those words mean.
Cobra Online Racing. First time I was in comms and I said we have a coffee machine. I am not getting rid of the coffee machine.
Okay.
It stays with me. Lords of the Red Hot Coffees.
I was hoping to get paid next season, but all right.
Ha! You're in America. They may have unions, but they don't believe in communism, so you don't really have a union. Anyway, that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know when Series 17 is starting. I assume we'll have one more season on this game, because we are only in February. New game won't come out until July. So we'll have time for one more season, I imagine. And then we will be leaving F1 24 behind and moving on to what may well be the last Codemasters F1 game, because they lose their license after 25.
Yay!
Let's be real, we're all cheering for that, let's be real. No offense to Codemasters, but you guys fell off the
No,
ball.
lots of offense
After
to
21, you guys really dropped the ball, let's be real.
Lots of offense to Codemasters.
Wow,
All the
okay.
offense.
Well, Bossman always speaks his mind. But
Yes, I
at
do.
any rate, until we meet again, people, it is goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
And goodbye from our 3 podium finishers. Say goodbye, lads.
Bye.
It sounds like I'm saying it's like a children's cartoon. Bye bye. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this race and indeed this season of SLR. It's been an absolute pleasure commentating through thick and thin, especially for those last couple of weeks, with various different co-commentators, Bossman being the primary one of them. And yes, we hope you will join us again next season for, well, the only way that F1's really exciting anymore. So, you know, what, you think you get this kind of action on real life F1? Get real. I heard you chuckling away there, Christian. I heard you chuckling away. But anyway, goodbye everybody, and we will see you next season. Take very good care, have a very safe time away from the stream, and we will see you all next season. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Hey.